Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly horoscope. This horoscope is for Monday the 31st of December 2018, going through until Sunday the 6th of January 2019. So New Year's Eve time, celebration time, and also a big time for New Year's resolutions and changes and making a fresh start. New Year's always represents this symbolic ending and start to something new. So if you can tap into that symbolism, it's a time of renewal. Think of it as Pluto in the astrology. So I'm going to give you a day-by-day rundown of what's happening this week. Remember that my horoscopes are based on UK time, and if this is the first one of my videos that you're watching, you're very welcome. This forecast is for all signs of the zodiac. I look at how the planets relate to each other in the sky and how that's going to impact all of us here on planet Earth. So on Monday the 31st, the moon moves into Scorpio at 1:24 in the morning, so it's in Scorpio all day. The moon is the most sensitive part of who you are. In Scorpio, it's like an emotional detective. It makes you naturally intuitive. It gives you the ability to influence other people. It allows you to see beyond the facade and to the truth of the matter, and to look inside other people almost, and to just feel whether you like them or not. If you meet a stranger today, you'll immediately, on Monday the 31st, you'll immediately know this is someone who's going to be part of my life, a friend, a lover, someone who's going to play a big important role in my life. Or you'll automatically know this is someone I never want to see again, this is someone I do not like. Without any evidence, just on a feeling level. The moon sextiles Saturn, the planet of structure and security, and the sun in Capricorn. The sun in Capricorn at the moment is your identity, and your identity is focused on being practical, setting goals, and getting things done. The moon also trines Neptune, the water planet of manifestation and dreams and what could be, and that's in Pisces. So we've got a nice balance between water and earth here, so feeling and doing. Mars, the male principle, and the masculine energy of drive, desire, what I want now, what I am not going to compromise on, who I want to sleep with, toxic masculinity. Mars as the soldier, as the destroyer, the murderer. Really Mars being the epitome of selfishness and getting what it is Mars wants. That enters Aries, the sign that it rules. Now Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so that's nice because it represents a new beginning, and that's where Mars can be most powerful. It can say, okay, we've got a goal, let's ram through it, I want this. In Aries, Aries being the little ram, it's able to move forward in a way that it actually likes. So Mars is very, very happy here. And we're coming to the end of 2018 with Mars going into Aries on this day. You know that you're bulldozing your way into 2019, and there ought to be a great sense of power and optimism. So happy New Year's Eve. Your dreams for the future are going to be really, really strong. Mars in Aries ensures that. It'll urge you to make big changes in 2019. And also check out the yearly horoscopes that I've done for your sun sign. And then also watch the one for your ascendant if you want to get information, extra information. If you want to get loads and loads of extra information, you can also watch the one for your moon sign, but make that third. So I've put out the monthly horoscopes for January, and I've done a yearly horoscope, so check those out to see what's going on. I would call 2019 eclipse year. There are 5 eclipses. It's a significant year, and I've included different planets in my charts. I'm looking at Ceres and Pallas Athena now in my chart readings, because I've dreamt and I've been guided to use those, because we're entering a new time of getting things done. Rather than relying on Mars, which is the old way of doing things, and which is responsible for people like Putin and Erdogan in Turkey, and people who are Kim Jong-un. That is Mars energy at its most, at its essence. And we're now changing into a time where people who don't feed into that toxic dictatorship kind of masculinity, we're becoming more powerful by tapping into our female power. Now on Tuesday, the 1st of January, the Sun conjunct Saturn, so the Sun and your identity sits right on top of Saturn, the planet of security and structure. Saturn is serious. It's like the astrological head teacher. It says this is what you ought to do. If you want to build a house, you've got to put a foundation down. Can't just build it out of matchsticks, it'll fall apart. So Saturn isn't a lot of fun, but he's realistic, or it is realistic, and it brings you down to earth. The Scorpio moon, so still you have that ability to kind of look inside other people and to see what's really going on. That conjuncts Venus in Scorpio, so feelings are going to be really strong. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and creativity. In Scorpio also, with this conjunction with the moon, there's going to be a great potential to really understand another human being, to see them for what they are, and to say, hey, I like this person, or I'm appalled, and yeah, yuck. So that makes things really clear for you during this time, especially if you're meeting new people, which a lot of you will. It gives you a crystal clear answer, do I like this person or not? Is there potential for love with this person or not? Doesn't mean you have to be looking for love or romance or a partner. Just anyone who comes into your circle, you'll have an immediate knowing about whether they're good for you or not. Which is a real gift from the universe, because often we end up with people who are really no good for us and that end up harming us. Now the Scorpio moon also sextiles Pluto, the planet of transformation, change, the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's in Capricorn. So changes in terms of what you're working on. And the moon also trines Chiron, the wounded healer, another centaur, and that's in Pisces. So that's spiritual wounds, emotional wounds, wounds from the past. What all of this means on Tuesday, first of all, Happy New Year's Day. With the Sun and Saturn meeting, it's time to take responsibility. Saturn doesn't mess around like with the foundation in the house. It really says, if you want, you can build your house out of straw if you want, but if you want something to stand up, you're going to have to invest a little bit and get some bricks and mortar, and you're going to have to do it properly. Your frustrations and past attempts to love that were blocked will be revisited with military precision. You now want to take your own power back and control your circumstances. So that Mars in Aries energy is all about, okay, I'm looking to the past. I wasn't able to love him. He rejected me. She cheated on me. She said she loved me, but she didn't. I thought I was madly in love, but I wasn't. Or any kind of situation that was painful. You're going to really look at that again and see it with a laser beam focus. And with that Mars in Aries saying me, put myself first, you're really going to look at that and the circumstances you're in now, and you're going to say, I want power. I want to control things. I want to love the way I want to love, and I want to be loved back. And the big words here is I and want. So Tuesday is all about wanting and desiring and getting what you want and being frustrated if you don't. Saturn doesn't care either way. It just says take responsibility for what you're getting. If you're being rejected, accept it. If you're getting what you want, great. This is a day where this is kind of magic versus spirituality. Magic is about taking your will and casting a love spell and saying, I want love. I'm going to cast a spell to create that energy and to put it out into the universe. Or I despise these people, I'm going to curse them and I'm going to send them lots of negative energy, which comes back to you threefold. And I really feel they deserve this curse, and it's my control what I want, and I'm going to do that. Spirituality is about taking responsibility, accepting what is, and not getting involved in making things happen. It's accepting the past, letting it go if anything, and looking at what the future holds and seeing how you can be positive and move into the future with goals in mind, but not in a Mars and Aries kind of way that you're like a bull in a china shop saying, I want, you know, this porcelain, but because you barged in there and destroyed everything, there's not one cup of porcelain left. You've just bombarded it and you've destroyed it. So it's about either I'm in control of my life, or I hand over control to my life, to my higher self, to my higher power. In my experience, when I hand my life over to a higher power, it tends to work. When I do things myself, I tend to run my life into the ground. Now, there are a lot of people, let's say Elon Musk, who is, I want this company, I'm doing it, and he creates. Anyone, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg. That is Mars and Aries. That's about, I'm going to create this. But you're going to be much happier in life if you allow things to occur, and if you allow yourself to be guided to create things, rather than doing it all from your own ego. Because your ego doesn't always want the best for you, and your higher self does. So I would say on New Year's Day, take responsibility for who you are, where you're at in life. Don't get overly involved with control, and listen to what the answers are and what direction you ought to be going in. On Wednesday, the 2nd of January, the moon enters Sagittarius at 9 in the morning. So Sagittarius is the centaur who's always looking ahead, galloping forward, fire, full of energy and drive. And the Sagittarius moon also trines, so it forms a harmonious relationship with this Mars and Aries, the soldier marching forward. So on Wednesday the 2nd, your feet run away with you in the direction that you've been dreaming of for so long. So Monday the 31st and Tuesday the 2nd, if you've been listening to your guidance and your dreams, you're going to really not rev your wheels anymore. You're really going to go forward. And if you are in control mode and saying me, I, you're also going to move forward. Again, like I said, higher self-guidance is going to lead you in a direction that's successful and positive. If you're doing everything by yourself, it may be positive, but it may be about ego and power and getting what you want. And then it's something that may affect other people negatively. So listening to your guidance and then moving forward is a better idea than just on a whim saying, I want this because I want it, and I don't care who gets hurt, who I have to step over. Both of you are going to move forward, but obviously the one who's more considerate is going to do better. So you're the captain of your own ship and you want to get it moving. Ask for guidance and help and support. In my experience, that always works better. On Thursday, the 3rd of January, we've got the moon still in Sagittarius, and it conjuncts Jupiter, the lucky planet, in Sagittarius, which is great. So moving forward, traveling, education, connecting with the higher realms, all of that's going to open up good luck for you. It forms a harmonious relationship with Uranus and Aries. Uranus is the unexpected, miraculous, electricity, eccentricity. It's kind of like Mars on a heightened level, and that's in Aries, the ram. So again, very much about let's move things forward on our own terms. It squares Neptune in Pisces and Chiron in Pisces. So Thursday is the luckiest day of the week. You're completely energized and focused on what it is you want for yourself. The time to kind of acquiesce and to put others first is burnt away by this fire and passion that's released inside of you. And if you're going by ego, it may even be fury and revenge. I am going to get my own back. I'm going to destroy these people, and I'm going to destroy their company and make mine the biggest. That would be using this energy from an ego angle. If you're listening to your higher self, it could be, you know what, your potential is really as a musician, and you devote yourself to that, and you use that fire to create something new and beautiful and to bring light into the world, rather than using the destructive elements of fire, which turns things to ash and smoke and smithereens. Either way, you're going to move forward. And like I said, taking guidance and allowing yourself to be led is going to be far more successful than just saying, I know it all. I feel that I'm right all the time, and I'm not going to listen to anybody or anything, and I'm just going to go for it. Which is what most people do. Most of us live through self-propulsion. We're not interested in spirituality or trying to figure out what some unseen force wants for us. Most of us don't care, and we just say, I want my life to be good. A lot of people want the American dream, for instance. I want lots of money. I want a wife and children. I want, my mansion and be famous, and I'm going to do that in any way I can. Does that make you happy? Could go on about that for ages. But again, taking guidance and saying, all right, my higher self is telling me to go that way. I don't know exactly what that's about or how it's going to influence me or end up, but it's guaranteed that it will lead you to a happier place rather than you doing everything by yourself. So, the next day, Friday, the 4th of January, the moon goes into Capricorn at 6:56 in the evening. So it's still in Sagittarius for most of the day, so that desire to move forward is still there. Capricorn is much more stable, solid, and it says let's work gradually to get to where we want to go instead of just running and bulldozing, and let's climb this mountain and be careful, step by step, one thing at a time, and let's also achieve. So all of these planets are really in moving forward mode and achieving something. The Capricorn moon squares Mars and Aries, so there's friction between these two now. Capricorn moon, sensitive part of you says, I want to work on this gradually and do it properly. Mars and Aries says, just go. Cut corners, take a shortcut, bulldoze your way through it. The Sun in Capricorn sextiles Neptune in Pisces, so you're naturally connected to your higher self. So on Friday it's going to be much easier to listen to your higher self, which says go in that direction, not this direction. And Mercury, the communication planet, enters Capricorn too. So Mercury is now much more responsible. Mercury is the way you think, the way you communicate, and the way you perceive the world. So in Sagittarius, Mercury is all about the future is bright and the grass is greener, let's gallop and go there. which Mars in Aries really likes as well, because it just wants to go. It doesn't want to appreciate what you've got. And Mercury in Capricorn totally slows down. It says, let's look at what we've got. Let's get grounded. Let's be grateful for our health, our routine, our work. And let's think about how we can improve this work so that we do get to the top, but it does it in a much more responsible and consistent way. So on Friday, the brakes come on in a way. You realize you're not the only person on planet Earth trying to achieve something and to progress. You're really, really wonderfully able to take abstract ideas and thoughts and put them into practical action today with the help of others. So either through teamwork or delegating work if you have employees, or sending off applications for new jobs, new careers, making a lateral move in your work so that you're working in a sense that feels more effective and constructive, rather than galloping towards something that is impossible and setting impossible goals for yourself. So Friday, you really kind of come back down to earth and you're dealing with reality. On Saturday, the 5th of January, the moon is still in Capricorn, so responsible, left foot, right foot. It sextiles the sun in Capricorn, so that's harmonious again. Your identity is all about, let's work at this consistently. And Saturn in Capricorn. So Saturn is the astrological responsibility inspector, and it says, is your life built on something? And do you have meaning? Or are you just running around? Venus is in Scorpio. So the planet of love and beauty and creativity is able to reach much deeper and darker and more secret places. So you'll be able to look inside of those things that other people try and keep hidden. And it trines Chiron in Pisces. So especially other people's pain, you become very aware of, and you become very empathetic towards other people who are in pain. So on Saturday, you're driven to work and to create a more stable life. More grounded, more practical, more long-lasting. A part of you is going to try and sabotage this and will say, there's no such thing as security on planet Earth. Just look at your past and how chaotic that was. So you have a choice today. You can either move forward and succeed, or you can look back and sink. And look, moving forward and succeeding applies to your work and your love life. If you look back on romantic failures and jobs that didn't work, you're going to go under and feel those negative feelings of, this didn't work out and I'm still devastated about it. So choose the future. What did they in Trainspotting? Choose life. And I don't mean that ironically, really. Choose making your life something that is more stable and fulfilling and joyous and comforting, or whatever it is you want it to be. At the moment, you have the ability to look inside of other people. So you can meet people all week who you immediately know, I can trust this woman, I can trust this man. Or this is someone who's going to screw me over. You're incredibly intuitive here with Venus and Scorpio. On Sunday, the 6th of January, we have a new moon in Capricorn, which is also a partial solar eclipse, happening on the south node at 1:29 in the morning. I've made a separate video on the eclipse. I'll go into more detail. And this year really is all about the eclipses. So if you look at the forecast for your sign for 2019, you'll see me talking about the eclipses a lot, because the effects of an eclipse last not only on that day, they affect you for 6 months after the eclipse has happened. So a new moon is when the moon and the sun sit together and they pull lots of energy in. It's interrupted with this eclipse. So a lot of Capricorn energy is pulled into your life for the next 6 months, and that's about letting go of ways of working that are rubbish and that don't get you anywhere, and becoming much smarter about how you work and becoming more effective. Uranus, the planet of chaos, rebellion, the miraculous, the unexpected, it goes direct. So you'll feel amazing. At the beginning of January here, you'll feel a surge of energy combined with this beautiful responsibility of Capricorn. And you're really going to say, I'm moving forward and I'm not doing this useless work anymore. I'm going to streamline my life. I'm going to streamline my working life, my daily routine, and my physical health. And I'm driven to move forward with that, there's no doubt. And I'm going to improve all of those areas. The Capricorn moon conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn. So Pluto is fire. It's like Mars. It's death and rebirth. It's burning brightly, the phoenix rising from the ashes, but then burning for a while and burning itself out and becoming ash again and repeating that cycle over and over. And it means that there will be changes in your working life, your daily routine, or your physical health, and you can choose to use the transformative and healing energy of Pluto to bring more love into your life. Venus is in Scorpio at the moment, remember? Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto. So you have the ability to work, to bring more love into your working life, towards yourself, the way you live. You know, if you work, I used to live in Australia and I used to walk through the main park on my way to the CBD, the Central Business District in Sydney. And that was my favorite part of that job, the fact that I got to walk through the park for 10 minutes and 10 in the morning and 10 minutes at night. So it can be a simple change like that. The Capricorn moon also squares Uranus in Aries, the planet of eccentricity and rebellion and moving things forward. So on Sunday, you understand what you need and you let go of it in your practical life, in your working life circumstances, your daily routine, and you let go of anything that no longer serves you in terms of your diet or how you treat your body. You know, if you look in the mirror and say, God, I hate your face, I hate your wrinkles, I hate your hair, you're putting yourself down, and you're also welding yourself towards, you're super gluing yourself to those things that you hate about yourself. If you look in the mirror and you say, I love this face that's been with me and supported me my whole life, I love my hair, I love my skin, thank you body for supporting me and looking the way it does. And that's a different way to treat your body. And when you start to talk to your body that way, you will get the most out of it. Because you're no longer working against it, you're working with it. And that's the phoenix rising from the ashes. Believe me, your body hears what you think about it. So Sunday you can transform your life by having this laser sharp focus on how you can work less with greater effect and productivity instead of working harder for less success. So that's what I get for you here at the beginning of the year, from Monday the 31st, New Year's Eve through the New Year's Day and through until the 6th of January. Check out the horoscopes for January for your sun sign, your ascendant and your moon sign, and check out the videos for your sign for the whole of 2019, because it's a really interesting year with all of the eclipses. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Book Your Readings button on the front page, or click on the Readings tab. That'll take you to the Readings page and you can order your reading with me there. I use astrology, tarot and numerology in my readings. I combine them all. And I'm an intuitive astrologer, so I use these tools and I look at the symbols and I get messages as I'm working with them. Like I've got the message to include 2 other planets in my horoscopes from now on. That's something that came to me intuitively. That is something that's then reflected practically in my chart that I draw up, and I get more intuitive information from that. So it's a cycle that works very well. So once I have your chart drawn up, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth to draw up your natal chart. If you don't have the time of birth, order a chart rectification with me, please. I can work out your time of birth also on the readings page or special services page. Once I have the chart, it's a snapshot of the sky at the moment you were born. It shows me what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, your strengths, your weaknesses, how to streamline your working life and make it better, children, love, horoscope compatibility with partners to see if you're a good match. I can answer any questions about what's coming up for you in your finances or your personal development, travel, education, career changes, promotions, whether you're in the right job or not, friendships, where the best place is to live. I use astrocartography for that. So your natal chart I look at from position Earth, looking up at the sky, that snapshot, but I can also reverse that and position myself in the sky and see how the planets were moving over planet Earth and what each part of the world and the country, what planet that's ruled by, and how you're gonna feel living in that area. Astrocartography is amazing. It's really wonderful. So I have Saturn going through Germany. So Saturn on the plus side gives you a sense of stability. On the downside, it makes you feel like stuck and totally like I have no freedom here. So when I go to Germany and then the airplane lands, I immediately feel like, oh my god, I can't move. I have to follow the rules, everything's difficult. Whereas living here, for instance, in the UK, which is ruled by Jupiter, which is freedom and growth, I have a much easier time of it just because of the planet that was moving over the Earth. So that's a belief that I have. I do believe that each part of the world has a different spirit associated with it. And I also believe that depending on where you were born, when you were born, yeah, where, when, and yeah, where and when shows me what different energies different part of the world are going to have for you and how that affects you and how you can make your life better simply by moving. So if you're interested in any of that, please get in touch via the website gregoryscott.com. To audio reading, if you like my videos, or if this is the first one of my videos that you're watching, you're very welcome. The nicest people subscribe to this channel, really, such sweet, lovely, wonderful people. So hit subscribe to join our beautiful little community here on YouTube. Have a wonderful New Year's Eve and a New Year's Day, and a really great start to the new year. And I'll speak to you for the daily tarot readings. Check out the monthly and the yearly horoscopes, and I'll speak to you next week for this weekly horoscope. All the best, and I'll speak to you soon.